I'm very proud of Siri.
Of
It's the
course.
most famous thing I've done. I put a lot of heart into it and loved it. Um, but it's also one of my biggest failures because I imagined it to be so much more. And I think entrepreneurs are always unsatisfied, and that's what keeps them moving forward. If you're happy in life, if you think everything's great, there's no need to change anything. If you're frustrated and want to, so Siri was great, but I imagined the internet, the web. And even though Siri is famous, it's not really important unless you're visually impaired, paralyzed. There's a few kind of disabilities, disabled populations, autistic in certain cases. Then Siri is important. I have a friend, a magician friend who's blind, Richard Turner, who uses Siri for everything. It's his gateway to communicate to the world in the electronic world, right? In general, I'm proud of Siri, but for most people, it's somewhat of a novelty, somewhat of a utility, but not important. Change.org for me is a much more important project. I'm very proud to have been there at the beginning of it. Ben Rattray is the CEO and founder, and I was the first technical guy he met. I helped build the first version of the system, but all of the success, I was now off doing Siri. I can't take really any credit for what change became, but I'm so proud of having been there at the start because change is important. I mean, literally every hour of the day, maybe even every minute, there are victories that happen that matter to people, that changes their lives in big ways. And I can talk about some of those, but it's an incredibly powerful and important tool. So I'd say what's the most important thing I've been associated with? I would pick change.org. Viv Labs, which I sold to Samsung, we got the technology onto hundreds of millions of devices. The technology was among the coolest we ever deployed. It was crazy how amazing what we built was. We built a system that when a user asks a Siri-like request, rather than just being a simple request that's hardwired, hand-coded in a programming language by a human, it was an AI who would write its own code on the fly to handle that request, which is like
Crazy.
which is crazy. And that means if I'm asking a question and you asking the same question, we may get very different behaviors because you have different preferences, you have different services that you care about. It's combining information from across different services. Nothing like that has ever been launched at internet scale. And we did it. Now, it didn't have the commercial success that Siri did, largely, I think, because there was zero advertising that Samsung put behind it and some various issues. So it wasn't as successful commercially, but from a technical point of view, wow, we did some amazing things. I'm very proud of what I did with Siri. And Siri was a lot of my vision, over the years. I contributed a lot to it, but I'm frustrated that it fell short, the version people had. Change.org, I didn't have that much contribution, but I'm so proud to have been part of it at the beginning, earliest days. That is powerful and important. And then Viv Labs, some of the coolest technology I think ever created, and the travesty is most people won't know about it because it's not marketed well, and then people left and it fell away. So I felt the opportunity, but just from the pure, maybe I'd say maker, creative feel, I'm like, wow, there was some unbelievable stuff we did in that. So there's 3 answers.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that clip. And if you did, go ahead and click the link in the description below to check out the full interview to keep those creative gears turning. Remember to click the notification bell, comment below, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing, thought-provoking interviews. I'm Shaun J, and welcome to the Making Magic Podcast.